because that's not how it works. You don't just go to school and then work and then you can apply for permanent residency. No, we didn't know when we came what the full journey was, and that was a problem for us.
But even the job search process can be 3 to 6 months.
That made it so difficult.
Interesting.
Yes. And that's one thing I was never prepared for.
I didn't come to attend school. Let me just clear that up. I attended school to come.
Oh, okay. Thanks for the clearing up.
So I just finished university, right? I wasn't really trying to go back to school, and I have a bachelor's in architecture. But school was what made sense, and I was okay with doing a postgraduate program. So I ended up doing a postgraduate program in project management at Humber College, and it was a 1-year program. So, but it was like consecutive semesters. So straight, there's no summer break or anything like that. It's just straight from January to August, 1 year, and you finish, and then you go off into the work world with a 1-year work permit and hope for the best. You know, we got some advice from an immigration consultant to come here, saying, okay, help us to get into school, help us to get to Canada, but we really didn't know what the plan was after school, apart from the fact that we're going to get a work permit. We didn't really know what the path to permanent residency was supposed to be. We both felt clueless. And we were in this 8-month program where we're like, oh shoot, 8 months is not a year. What's the length of the work permit we're going to get, all of that. And we found that we had more questions than answers. So I just did my research. I researched the heck out of it and just got my ducks in a row. When I submitted my first express entry profile, it said ineligible.
We spoke earlier about you being an author, right? So I know your book. Tell us a little about the Canadian immigration book that you have.
All right, so that book is called From Foreign Student to Canadian Citizen and Everything in Between. It's the journey from wherever you are, if you're probably watching this and you're not in Canada, sitting down at home in your couch trying to figure out, okay, I want to go to Canada, I want to go to school in Canada specifically. How do I get there and what are the steps? And so it starts from helping you to identify, you know, where to go to school, and then applying for the study permit, getting to school, going through the whole thing from student all the way to citizen, so that you can understand it from a holistic point of view, step by step, because we didn't know when we came what the full journey was. And that was a problem for us because it caused us unnecessary stress and anxiety.
Unnecessary money spending.
And unnecessary money spending because we made a lot of mistakes along the way. So knowing what the full journey looks like, just yesterday actually, just this morning, I posted a video that is, somebody sent me an email, right? Saying that they came to Canada in January of 2022. They finished school in August of 2022. They started working in September of 2022. And so September 2023 would be 1 year working. Perfect. It's November now, and she hasn't taken her English test, and she hasn't done her credential assessment. So her question to me was, I'm going to get these things done. When I submit my application, am I still able to work until they get approval? I'm like, well, submit what application? Because that's not how it works. You don't just go to school and then work and then you can apply for permanent residency. No, you join a pool, and then the government decides if you can apply for permanent residency. And just awareness, just knowing that is the path, sets you up for success, to know when to take your educational credential assessment thing, when to take your English exam, and prepare, because now her thing is going to expire in January. She doesn't have enough points. So I put her together with our immigration consultant, because time is of the essence for her. And if she doesn't do the right things right now, she could be out of status. So awareness is what this book is about.
And it's available on Amazon.
It's available on Amazon as a paperback, or ebook is available on Audible as an audiobook. It's also available on my website as an audiobook and ebook combo for people who don't necessarily like to read but like to have the both of them or whatever. And
I think that realistically, people like the job search, like for a proper job even, but this wasn't necessarily, you weren't being picky, but even the job search process can be 3 to 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 months isn't bad. Like, of course, you want a job right out of
Yes.
school, especially as an international student and on a 1-year work permit.
Exactly. That was the biggest thing there for me.
It took a little while to get a job. A little while is actually, when you're in it, it feels like a little while. But when actually looking back, if it was 2 months, 2 months to find an okay-ish job-ish, isn't unrealistic, isn't crazy. And for anybody who is like in school right now, you want to start this job hunting process 3 months before school ends, right? To see what's available for you so that maybe you can set something out part-time before school ends, see what is available to you, what's possible. But also, if you can't necessarily apply for a job, start networking, right? So start meeting people in the profession as best you can. Go to job fairs. There's always stuff going on. Go on Eventbrite. Go to like free events or paid events, right? And start networking, because the best thing you can do for yourself is give somebody your resume and say, can you give this into your manager or something like that, right? So 2 months is not unrealistic, right? But in the process, when you're on the watch, we don't have time to not have a job. We want to be hired now. Okay.
Renting, nobody never tell me or could have never prepared me for rent. And even in terms of, other than the cost of renting, to be able to rent. Because as a newcomer to Canada, I don't have no credit. I could show you proof of funds, willing to pay you 6 months upfront and all of that, but that means nothing if you don't have the credit. And remember, at the time I was an international student, so even though I had the funds, I didn't have any active employment, so I couldn't provide any like pay stubs or anything like that. But I could show you that, like, okay, I'm a decent human being. I have X amount of dollars in my bank account. Like, please.
Yeah.
And then it's so tricky because most times nobody is willing to give you the chance. Yeah. And that was for big buildings. That was for
usually that
buildings.
have like property management or basements
as well, because remember this was like 2021, so like right after COVID, and it was a lot of hiccups during COVID when persons were laid off, when landlords weren't able to evict them and stuff like that. So people were going through like with a real fine tooth comb, and that made it so difficult.
Interesting.
Yes. And that's one thing I was never prepared for.
Yes. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe, stick around for more helpful videos like this. Hit the like button, share it, and I will see you in the next video.